Wild applause for a mesmeric performance. The judges across the board gave them 5.9s for technical merit. We knew they'd be higher for artistic impression, but no one was prepared for the moment to come. Row of sixes, never before or since equal. It was an overwhelming achievement, particularly as Jane had injured her shoulder practicing the routine just 2 months earlier, forcing them to miss the Europeans. So an understandable but rare show of exuberance from a couple who are such extroverts on the ice, but away from it, quiet and surprisingly shy.
They are. It's part of our job in a way to you perform for the public, but when you're not performing for the public, you obviously are someone else, and you have your own thoughts and private way of living, and I suppose you're expected by the public to be, well, like you are on a stage or on a rink all the time. Well, obviously you're not.
If you get to know them, you find them they're very private people. But if you get to know them well, they're good fun to be with. But Jane in particular, I mean, Chris, by and large, used to be so shy that he would hardly speak to anybody. And he's gradually come out of that, and he's much more composed. Jane was always quite a chatterbox when you got to know her well. But a lot of people, the sort of people who throw themselves around. So you do have to get to know them well before you understand their characters.
You two have been at the top now for 4 years, at the very top. Is it easy to keep the momentum going, or does it become a bit of a drag?
Not a drag, it becomes harder. People say that it's hard getting there, but it's even harder staying. It really is.
Very true.
Because all the time you've got to work so hard at everything. I mean, for us it's been enjoyable, and we do enjoy that, and that's what it's all about. But you're all the time, you have to be thinking about the way you do it and what you've got to do, and all the preparation that goes into it. Something, our spare time is so little now, because it's all concentrated on what we're doing for competitive skating.
I think the thing that is so impressive about Christopher and Jane is that they are very fine skaters, and unfortunately a lot of the subtleties of their work is often lost on people who don't really know too much about it.
The European Championships in Budapest saw them edge one step nearer perfection. The controversial Bolero routine earned them 11 perfect sixes, clinched the title, set them up perfectly for the Olympics and Worlds. For many of us, though, in Budapest, if not for the Soviet and French judges, the highlight came one day earlier with Chris and Jane's original set pattern dance. The other couple seemed restricted by the discipline. Now came a triumph of imagination. And now the moment the crowd have been waiting for. Here are Jane and Chris, the reigning world champions, with their Paso Doble routine, which some people think is even better than their free dance. This is your chance to judge. In spectacular form. Jane's dress, incidentally, designed by Courtney Jones, himself a former world champion, in French crepe, and even the material just cost £80. performance from Chris and Jane. A moment of doubt in midweek when Chris fell when practicing this, but absolutely no doubt when it really mattered. Chris and Jane, once again, in supreme form.
Chris, at this stage, how much did the Olympics dominate your thinking?
Well, they have done for some time, and obviously there is going to be a lot of pressure on us with it being Olympic year, and there's going to be more interest. In our minds, the Olympics is the one thing that we haven't won, and we're looking forward to going out there and skating, hopefully as best we can.
You're now going to turn professional after the World Championships. What, in your own mind, do you want to do? Everyone seems to think that you're going to make millions and millions of pounds. How important is money to you, or is it the credibility you want to still have as skaters?
I think
we want to perform mainly, basically, and if we have enough money to do what we want to do, I think we'll be happy at that. We don't need to start counting the pennies and raking in the millions, as it were. We'd just rather be happy doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't think the money is the main thing. It's pleasing yourself is the main thing, and being happy with that.
Do you want to do things on your own, rather like Curry and Cousins have done?
Yes, I'd like to do something in that vein, because then you can work in a way that you want to, and you have control over the direction that you want to go in, rather than being restricted possibly in other aspects of skating.
How important is it to you, when you leave the sport of amateur skating, to leave it as the best ever, to leave a legacy to the sport?
I think that is... I would like to be remembered for giving something to the sport. I mean, there have been skaters in the past, when you look back, who have left something for the sport, and I hope in 10 or 20 years' time, people reflect back and say, well, that was a jump from where it was before, which it's reached a higher level.
What will happen now to Betty Callaway? Will you be looking for another Chris and Jane around the corner?
No, I don't think so. I'm seriously thinking of it's time I finished as well. I've been very lucky. My last 3 couples have been nice people, not just good skaters, but nice people. I think my luck might run out.
Have either of you changed all these years you've been together? Has Chris changed much?
He's older.
I think he's changed, yeah. He's changed in a lot of ways. Well, he never used to speak to anybody before. He was very shy, and he's not shy anymore, for one thing. He's more extrovert than what he ever used to be. And also his spell with the police force helped him to handle situations better, I think, than what he could before.
What about Jane? Has she changed?
I think so. Somebody refers to it when we used to do Mac and Mabel. Somebody refers to us what's
Nellie from the Deli.
Nellie from the Deli, who comes out to be a star in the end. And she says that she's our Nellie from the Deli, from Nottingham. Yeah, she has. Yeah.
I think Christopher and Jane are the most self-disciplined couple I have ever known in my life. And I think that, allied with their natural talent, makes them world champions.
Well, people often say to me, aren't you proud of them as skaters? Well, I am. Of course I'm proud of them as skaters, but really and truly I think I'm more proud of them as people.
How on earth do you beat that? Will it ever be beaten?
Is there a danger that skating with us takes over your life?
It is our life, anyway. I mean, it has done. Our life is skating. I think we'll carry on until such time as that we know that you're not performing, you're not going forward in the skating, as long as that takes. I don't know. I just don't want to suddenly say, well, it's those old skaters coming out again, pushing them around the ice. I don't think we'll get to that stage.